Hello friends, welcome to EPG Pathsala Linguistics and welcome back to the third module of pronunciation lexicon, and this section will be talking about the pronunciation lexicon creation for Hindi particularly, and in this lecture we will be describing about what pronunciation lexicon is, where it is used, that is in voice browsing applications. So what are voice browsing applications are, what are the PLS standards, pronunciation lexicon standards, and how pronunciation lexicon schema or markup language is used for developing PLS for languages, and how pronunciation lexicons in particular are helpful for voice browsing applications. So we'll see what pronunciation lexicons are. So pronunciation lexicon contains grapheme and its pronunciation variants. Here pronunciation variants means if a word can have multiple accents depending on the regions or maybe the type of speakers. If the accentuations are different, that accent pattern should be captured in a pronunciation lexicon. And this pronunciation lexicon are of critical importance for both speech synthesis and automatic speech recognition system within voice browsing applications. So here, as we know about what TTS and ASR is, in TTS, as we know that given a text, it generates the speech, and in automatic speech recognition system, we speak some words or continuous sequence of words or sentences, and that system automatically transcribe those spoken words. So these two modules for these two speech synthesis and automatic speech recognition system, PLS is of critical importance when it is used in voice browsing applications. So these TTS and ASR systems are used, both are used in voice browsing applications. So we'll see what voice browsing applications are in general. So voice browsing applications are a software which is used for which is used as an interactive voice user interface. So what is this interactive voice user interface? So I will just describe what are the key components of these voice browser application, and then we will focus on what interactive voice user interface here signifies. So the key components of a voice browser applications are an ASR system, automatic speech recognition system, that is, or a keyboard, and a TTS, text to speech synthesis system, or the pre-recorded voices. And nowadays what is happening, let's say to a call center where a user interacts in a voice mode. So let's say you have in a call center which is a particular domain, let's say related to phone services, or let's say the calling services. For calling services, if you have some trouble and you are calling to the call center, so they know that a specific type of words or sentences will be uttered by the customers. So they have particular models for that, or they also know that this call center is going to cater the needs of the customer from various regions of this world, and their accent varies in different in these patterns. So they have the first module, that is ASR, automatic speech recognition system, which will understand your spoken words, and that spoken words, again the PLS will come into the role, and they will detect your the accent, and they will say, okay, they have spoken these kind of words, so that should be this text. So finally that text is being transcribed by ASR. Then that text is matched with the questions, and their answers, either pre-recorded or using TTS systems, are uttered for that customers of the region, so that they can understand that generated voices. So this way it is used at the both ASR system and at the front end, for understanding the sounds of a customer and for generating the reply for the customer. So both way, this is called interactive voice user interface, where you are posing a question to the system. System is understanding your words, and then by understanding your question, system is giving a pre-generated reply, either using pre-recorded sounds or by generating the pre-recorded pre-generated text using TTS systems. So nowadays these voice browsing applications are replacing the traditional IVR systems. Now, how the emphasis of this section is how PLS is created. So PLS is created using some schema. So they have their own schema, and that schema is followed with some tag sets. And generally this schema is in the pattern of XML, extensive markup language. So if this is the schema, then it has some tags. So that tags is of critical importance, and we have to understand that which tags is used for what purpose. So the first element in PSL markup language is a lexicon, which is the first section, and it has many attributes like which version you are using, and what are the XML base, and then XMLNS, and then what are the language, XML language, and the alphabets like IPA we are using, and if we are generating a PLS for English language or Hindi language, that you have to specify. Second element is meta or metadata. This means metadata elements are optional, and it says from where these contents has been picked up, and what are the words from where we have hashed these words and all. And other necessary elements are like lexeme, grapheme, and phoneme. These are the essential elements that need to be included under the header text set of lexicon. And optional elements are like alias and examples. These are for more clarity to be added into the PLS systems. So now we will see how PLS we will see the PLS examples for the clarity. How PLS examples, how PLS can be generated for, let's say, your language, or let's say for any language for that purpose. So we will be using some English examples first, then we can talk about Hindi example. Let's say we have, so first tag set will be the lexicon, which is lexicon and XMLNS and XLMNS and other tag set which are predefined, and you can just copy and paste into your PLS. So and you have to specify which alphabet you are using. If you are using Sampa, then you have to use Sampa. If you are using IPA, then use IPA. If you are going to use some other alphabet, let's say Roman, then you have to specify Roman into the alphabet. And XML language set specify what kind of language you are using. English, Hindi, Urdu, French, whatever, you have to specify that into the XML language tag set. Then starts the tag lexeme. Under lexeme, there will be 3 tag sets in general, or maybe more depending on the type of words we are including. So first section is grapheme. What will be the grapheme for that lexeme? Okay, so let's say we have a word Newton, a famous scientist. So this Newton, as let's say we pronounce it Newton. So first syllable is stressed. So you have to specify the stress mark first at the first syllable. So, and if you are using Newton where ya is being used, then you have to use ya into your sound system. If somebody is saying Newton, then ya is not used. This can be another variant used by some section of the people. They do not use or say ya is not used in their dialect or in their pronunciation pattern. Then Newton can be another variant that also need to be included in phoneme section. So after grapheme, you have 2 phoneme for this grapheme. So these are multiple pronunciation pattern how PLS caters or caters the need of multiple pronunciation, or how it captures the essentiality related to the different type of pronunciation for a single grapheme. Next, we have, let's say, if a word has multiple grapheme but a single pronunciation. For example, let's say we have word like color. So in word color, there can be two graphemes which are used, like COLOUR, and another grapheme can be COLOR, where U is not used. So both the words are correct at the grapheme level, but both the words have only one pronunciation, that is color. So here you have two graphemes but single phoneme. Another is where multiple accent makes the role. In the first section, we saw in the case of Newton, that was a different pronunciation altogether, where ya is being deleted, and the stress pattern was the same. Here in this next example, we will say where accent is changing, where accent may change in the pronunciation. Let's say fiancé, for which somebody says that the fiancé, where the second syllable is getting stressed, and in some people say that fi is of secondary importance and say is like stressed. If you have some French speaker, they will say fiancé. Okay, so say is getting stressed. So here you have to cater the accentual pattern as well. Which syllable is getting stressed and which syllable is not going stressed in depending on the region of the people. Where which people types of people belonging to different regions. So accentual pattern also plays an important role in PLS creation. So we have seen how PLS is more important for voice browser applications. So as we see that PLS is helping both at the ASR end and TTS end to cater the need of different type of customers belonging to the different region, for generating the pronunciation which can be easily decodable for different persons belonging to the different region. So it can cater the type of words having multiple orthographies. It can also cater the need of multiple pronunciation patterns. It can also handle homophones and homograph for the language. So this way we have seen the importance of a PLS in TTS and ASR system, and moreover PLS can be generated using either a rule-based LTS system or a data-driven LTS system, because a pronunciation because a pronunciation lexicon also contains words and their phonemic sequence along with stress mark. So if you have a system or either a data-driven system or a rule-based system which can generate these type of phonemic sequence with stress mark, then that can be used for developing a pronunciation lexicon. Thank you very much and have a nice day.